This is Mark Grimes, and I'm here with Melvin Tucker, and we are here with Kelly Manufacturing in their 6410 liter windrower. Melvin, if you could, tell us a little bit about this.
All right, the 6410 windrower is it's becoming real popular now that they windrow the litter in the house and reuse it, spread it back out and reuse it. It saves money on the shavings, and the biggest problem we've heard is the turnaround time. It takes about 10 days to windrow it and let it go through a heat and then spread it back out and put new birds in there. And sometimes they don't have time to do that, so they just go in there and cake the house. But anytime they have enough of time that they can windrow, it's money saving for the grower. Let's come up to the front of it, and we'll start there. And of course, it's a 3-point hitch model. You do have to have a tractor that is big enough to pick it up and handle it.
What is the minimum horsepower requirement?
We require 60 horsepower, and that needs to be a 4-wheel drive tractor.
Okay.
That gives you enough weight on the front to pick the machine up, because it is a heavy machine. Now, on the back, we do put helper wheels or gauge wheels. We use them for helping carry the machine around, or to gauge how deep the blade's actually running in the ground. So that's a plus on this machine. If you got a small tractor that is limited as far as handling it, we can use these gauge wheels and handle the machine right on. But what we got is we got a blade, that 8-foot blade that moves the material, it scrapes up the material, whatever depth you want to go with it, up to 6 inches deep. All right, we got double augers on the front of it that augers the material out to the one side of the machine. It comes through a set of knives that's on each auger, and then it comes through these fingers, and the purpose for that is to bust up all the lumps. And normally in a house, they'll move it, put it in 2 windrows, and then let it set for 3 days. Then they'll go move those windrows to a new place and let it set 3 more days. Then they'll move it the 3rd time and let it set 3 days. After that, they spread it back out and reuse the litter. Time you move it 3 times through these knives and these fingers, it's just pulverized. There's no lumps in the material. You can use this cylinder to move the machine over against the wall, so your tractor don't have to run up against the wall. This linkage here is adjustable. That changes the angle of the blade. The more angle you got on the blade, the quicker it moves the material over to the side. But it works opposite as far as pulling your tractor around. So that's why you got the adjustment. If it's trying to pull your tractor around, you'd move the adjustment back to the front. If your tractor's handling it fine, then you want to go a little faster with the machine, then you might move it back a hole and speed up a little bit with the machine, because it gets the material out quicker. We have now. You can also, as an option, you can get a cylinder to go into place of this linkage, and you can do that from the tractor. But this works fine, because normally once you set it, that's where you leave it at. Let's walk around to the other side, and I'll show you one more option. Right here on the 3-point hitch, normally when we operate it with this bracket on here, we pull this pin out and put it in the top hole. That lets your headstock float to where the machine actually levels itself. If you got a high place, it just lets it stay down and slide on the skids. Now, we do make a cylinder to put into place of that. That's the only 2 options. We got a cylinder here and one for the other side. And other than that,
What is the warranty on this machine?
The warranty is 12 months.
12 months.
12 months. It's PTO drive. We do have a gearbox back here. We do have a shear bolt in the drive line in case you hit a water line or a 2x4 or something to lock the augers down. It'll shear a bolt, and you can get excess by taking this one bolt out, and you can replace the shear bolt. There are extra shear bolts inside of this canister. When you operate it from the tractor, we have a decal here that's showing you the depth you're going in the ground with the actual blade.
Okay.
So it's pretty easy to operate it from the tractor. In other words, if you let it down to 2 inches, that's what you're going to be picking up. It's 2 inches of litter.
All right. And how much does this list for?
List for $17,180, $17,180.
And when it comes to the dealership, after the dealership gets set up, what's the process for going around and putting it in the chicken house the first time?
If you notify KMC, then want them to come and go to the house with you, we will do that. And we will do it until you tell us you're comfortable at putting one in the house yourself.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Melvin, for doing this for us today.
Yes,
this is the Purdue event in Ohio County on August the 30th.